Hey guys, welcome to Sprint 63 for YakShaver. Today I'm joined by Adam, Seth, Yuli, Callum, Stephen, Tom, and Caleb. Let's get right into it. So the sprint goals were to roll out YakShaver to the first customer on the waitlist and to add static branding to all the videos. So those two are still in progress. We got some great feedback for rolling out the tests. So we're working on fixing those before we actually roll out to a customer. And we're just waiting for the video for the branding. So for timesheets, Stephen and I worked full-time. Tom, Rick, and Caleb mostly worked full-time, but had some days where they were on other things.
Could you zoom it up a little?
Of course.
Caleb, could you add Isaac, please?
Yeah.
Let's go through some of the PBIs for the sprint. So the first one is probably the most important one, the final submission for the Teams app. So we got an email on Tuesday that it has been approved and it's ready for final submission to get put on the Teams store. So I went with Rob to go through.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it's great. It's we went through it, and maybe a few hours later we got an email follow-up that said, congratulations, is now approved, and we are now on the Teams store. So you can find YakShaver on there now. Just a few small issues here. One is, so for DevOps, all of SSW's projects use the Scrum process. However, there are 3 other processes that DevOps projects could use that we haven't accounted for. So this fixed all of those. So we can now make YakShavers for any kind of project in DevOps. And this one was just one that Tiago requested to add the SSW projects to the project list. And that had a bit of back and forth just to make sure that it all worked okay. And it seems like, and it's all good.
So, sorry, question on that one. Was that easy? You just add it in the portal and it works, or do you have to do anything fancy for it?
So for SSW's case, we just added it. So the way you did it was perfect. That got it working.
Because I think I just added it in Dynamics.
I just had to double check with Rob to make sure that YakShaver had. Yeah. So for SSW, that's how you do it.
Right. Okay. Got it.
So is Yuli now eligible for the Credly badge now that it's done that?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. So I just needed to double check with Rob to make sure that YakShaver had permission, and it did. So it was all good, and I tested it and it worked.
Cool. Beautiful.
So Tom added the browser extension page to the wizard, just because it's not quite ready yet. We've disabled the button so users can see that it is coming soon, and to get them a bit excited for it.
By the way,
yes.
Just who checked that UX? That next button is ridiculously wide. It should be half that width and on the right-hand side.
It's coming from the Figmas.
Okay, all right. That shouldn't be pushed to production unless somebody else has checked the designer's work.
Okay. I could talk to the designer afterwards and see if any changes need to be made. Sure.
That's not going to make any logic. If you go back to the designer to check the designer's work, you need to get somebody else to do it.
Who designs the designers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's got to go from past more than one designer to one dev, I think. Yeah, the buttons are very, very wide. They're odd.
Oh, yeah. Next one is the Stripe done video. So Hajia's made a done video, and we've added it to the README because it's more for the internal developers to use. So this is how we can also learn how to use Stripe the way it's used in YakShaver. The next one is from Rick. So initially when you try to do YouTube integration on YakShaver, you will get a warning saying that it's not trusted. Are you sure you want to trust this? So he's gone through the verification process and it has been approved. So now you won't get that error anymore. And it will show that tick next to SSW. And it has also been uploaded to YouTube on the public channel. So do have a look at that. Yeah, so this is one of the bugs that we had when testing the initial release with Yuli and Louis, which was that we couldn't actually talk to the bot immediately after installation. Rick tried to reproduce it, but couldn't reproduce it. And he did this on different tenants, on a brand new tenant, and he couldn't get it to appear again, where he wasn't able to talk to the bot. So we decided to just add in the rollout plan that it will take roughly 5 minutes and then try again if it doesn't work. Because it was just, yeah, it was a time-based thing. Like we come back to it and it will work all of a sudden. So yeah.
Lewis,
yes.
I'm not sure if this is related, but on that new bot that we have, I was wondering, in the old one I could add to my favorites. This new one I can't add. Do you have any idea why?
It's in my favorite.
I'm not sure. I have it in my favorites.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. That's so weird. I can't add it. All right.
Yeah, I have it in mine too.
Okay. So I'm just going to go on to more. Click on YakShaver. It brings up the chat. There is nowhere in that chat where I can add it into my favorites.
Can you add anything else to favorites?
Yeah, on a normal chat. No, you're right. You are right.
So that
Now
might
I
be
can.
a larger bug then. Maybe on
Yes.
your device specifically, you can't add anything to favorites.
Yeah. That is
Maybe try going to the chat itself and then move it to favorites, because that's how I had to do it.
Oh, well, that's the way I did try to do it.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
Yeah,
Mobile issue?
I can't do it on my mobile interface either. So I guess you
maybe
just
it's
need to
mobile.
do it on a PC.
Oh, okay. All right. That makes more sense then. Maybe I can do it on my PC.
Where was I up to? I was up to here.
Caleb, can you look at your chat, please?
Yeah, I'm just adding Wixie now.
So is everything all good up to this point? Any questions?
That last one made me nervous, but I guess I'm going to do another test with Louis before I do this for real, right? So we'll
Yeah,
see
we're
what
going to
happens
do
then.
another one after all the fixes. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. All right. The next one is the subscription page error. So yeah, during testing, we found this one when a user successfully or failed or canceled a subscription. It brought them to a page with a white screen that says client-side exception has occurred, which is very scary for someone who just paid money for a product. But as you can see on the URL, it has 2 slashes. So we thought maybe that was the reason. And it was a simple fix that took a bit of time due to some Azure bugs, but we got that fixed.
Beautiful.
Okay, Lewis.
Yes.
Just the way you fixed it. Did you check first that you had some way of being informed of it? Like, was there any log written when that was raised?
There were error logs, and I think that was being sent to App Insight, so we did pick them up.
But did you see them? Did you go and look at them before you fixed the bug?
I personally did not.
Yeah, I think that's the important thing for everyone. When you see something like that, check it's in the logs, and then fix it, and then check it's not in the logs.
Yep.
Clean up the logs. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, that's a fair comment.
Wait, if it's a client-side exception, shouldn't you fix that immediately though? Since it's in prod and it could be affecting users.
Yeah. First, check what the logs say and how many that it says. Yeah. Otherwise, if you just keep fixing things, you won't look at the logs and you won't see what's being logged and what's not being logged.
Mm-hmm.
Wixie, got any best practices there?
Yeah, rules to better error handling, I
Perfect.
assume would be in it.
Okay.
But yeah, just app insights or something like that, something simple.
Yeah.
Or
Okay.
there's a lot
Are
of
you-
analytics tools.
Are you using Raygun?
No, we're using App Insights.
Okay. All right.
The next one is the rollout plan. So that has been fleshed out for the moment by Stephen, and it'll be continuously improved. So it already got its first pass when Yuli did it with Louis. Saw lots of changes to the document. So hopefully this will keep getting improved after every iteration. The next one is a bug where creating a PBI from email, where the bug was that the PBI, they thought a PBI got created, but it was actually an email. And the reason why they thought that because the wrong card got sent. So even though an email got sent out, it still gave the PBI card, which was confusing. So I've fixed it so that it produces the right card depending on whether it's a PBI or email.
Okay.
Can we see it? Is it in the done?
Yeah. I don't have a screenshot of it, but it's basically the same as the normal email. The reason why it failed is because it fell back to, so down here there's a problem creating the PBI and email will be sent, but we've hard coded it initially to always assume that a PBI would always be created, but obviously that's not the case.
Right. Okay. Now this goes for everyone. When there is a done, include a screenshot and put who checked it. So obviously you get this right. You get someone to check it and you put checked by Tom and paste the image in.
Yeah, noted. Yeah, the next one is just small changes to the YakShaver portal. It was just some feedback from testing. So this was our
Original
our
one.
tools page before, and I've just reordered it so that we have the more important ones, Windows and Mac at the start.
Yeah, beautiful. Thanks.
And same was done for the wizard. So the ending screen here, we also put Windows first before Mac.
Cool.
This Windows superiority.
Yeah.
And I've also added this first in the welcome message. We have this yellow message that says Microsoft tenant administrator permissions required. So it just makes it a bit more obvious that you actually do need admin permissions before you can complete the wizard.
Okay.
We also create a PBI out of this to try to reorder it based on your current OS. And we just made a YakShaver for that. This one. Yeah, so there was an issue where the project disambiguation card wasn't working. So when you made a YakShaver and it was like, I'm not sure which project you wanted, tell me which one you want to go into. It will always fail no matter which project you picked. And that was because when it tried to deserialize the JSON, it failed. So that has been fixed and now it's working again.
Nice.
Next is error message for expired Stripe subscriptions. Stephen, do you know go through this change, this fix?
This error was when user had a expired plan, but when they get the error message will still say you have insufficient funds. So I've added a new error card to state that your plan is expired. Please subscribe to plan, and there will be a button underneath. So when user click on that button redirects user to the portal to purchase more.
Do we have a screenshot of that?
We should have a screenshot added, but when I look into my local board, because I had my local board reinstalled, all the message has been deleted somehow. Next time I will remember to add a screenshot.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Stephen, just for your information, very hard to hear you. There's a big echo.
There's an echo.
Yeah,
okay.
Maybe check which mic you're using.
Right. Makes sense.
The next two have been done by Tom. Tom, do you want to go through these bug fixes?
Yeah, so when a new user signed up on a new tenant, these users are automatically marked as an admin, and admin get to see a few extra menu items, namely the integrations page as well as the system info page, which are hidden for non-admins. However, in this instance, the UI didn't update and those two items were not shown for the user. So that has been fixed.
Cool.
And then in the last PBI there, when I tested the previous one, I noticed that if the user knows the URL, they can still browse to them and it will display. So I implemented basically a access denied page to not allow the user to see those pages if they're not admins, even if they manually try to browse to them.
I would add an emoji before the access denied, like the red circle with the red line through it or something visual.
Yep.
Yep. And that's all for all the done PBIs. Any questions on that?
That's great. It's good to see some of the ones that we found when we were doing the tests.
Code coverage remained the same percentage-wise, 16.3. We had two deployments, I guess, technically. One of them you couldn't see because of the reproc, but we had two deployments. For the health check, yeah, we had two availability drops. So one was on the 19th, and that was when Stephen was resetting the app, trying to get the key vault to work, to send the right link to Stripe. And the second one was we got a notification in the morning, 3 a.m. I had a look and it was due to one of the Teams subscriptions in our tenant being expired. So I reran the function and that has fixed the issue.
Can I check the error that we just discussed before that we're not sure was logged or wasn't logged? Would that appear in any of your telemetry charts?
You mean the double slash issue?
Yes, as an example. Does that appear there?
That will probably appear in the failed requests.
Okay, all right. Could I ask you to double check that? Because I don't want to, I'm not interested in probably. I just want to make sure when a new error happens, it will appear there and it's very visible.
Yep, I can have a look.
Okay, that'd be great.
For monthly usage, we have
Josh has beaten me.
Michaela, Tiago, Josh at the top, and we got a new shaver, Aman. So he's made a lot of shaves, which is really good to see. And Josh has been giving me lots of feedback whenever issues pop up, which is so great.
Nice.
For the product roadmap, we had one to the Stripe integration, and we have two new epics here. So free YakShaver for public use, and the client portal reporting and YakShaver stats.
Oh.
For backlog stats, we have an increase in new PBIs. We have roughly the same amount that have the YakShaver label. A few more completed, but overall it's a net increase to the amount of PBIs we have in our backlog.
Bloody hell, 82.
Yep.
82. Sorry, what's the percentage in the backlog? It's currently 78. That's huge. Oh, it's dropped down to.
So it's dropped down a bit, yeah. For R&D, Stephen and Tom investigated and fixed the trailing / issue in Azure Key Vault. It took a lot of trial and error due to some of Azure bugs. The waitlist numbers, we got one more on the waitlist. So we have 112. For AI tools, Tom has removed some of his, but other than that, nothing has really changed. Any questions on those? I'll continue.
I'm just one little thing. That number of like 84 net gain number of things in the backlog this month.
Yep.
It's freaking me out. Maybe we need to prioritize the duplicate detection.
Refinements. Oh, duplicates, right.
I don't know how many of those would be duplicates, but like that's a lot of PBIs. Like our backlog's going to get completely out of hand. That's 20% increase to our backlog this month.
Yeah.
I
That's
Yeah, I
something
mean,
that
we've started doing backlog refinement meetings, and I guess we just need to keep going aggressively until it is under control.
If we doubled the team, we'd be on top of it.
wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Is
Yeah.
that?
Maybe
I
some
promise.
coding agents could join the team. Can we get Codex on the job?
Maybe. For the sprint retro, one went well. Callum mentioned the Teams app got approved,
Woo.
and it's a good idea to add YakShaver branding and allow people to use it for free with public YouTube. And the backlog refinement was necessary to find some buried bugs and should continue each week. And for me, I said we got very good constructive feedback from Yuli and Louis from their test as a new tenant. Which uncovered lots of bugs and also helped refine the document. What didn't go so well? So Tom mentioned side mission CTF, YakShaver creating duplicate tickets. The Chrome extension PR was an XL PR, so it took a while to get that checked through. For Caleb, he got distracted getting CTF checked.
Hold on.
Yes.
Just on the Tom I one. Remember, we always speak in terms of change X to Y. So was it a large and it moved to an extra large, or was it a small and it's extra large? Lewis?
I think it was just an extra large. Correct me if I'm wrong, Tom.
It's an extra
Was it just
large to an extra large.
No, the
Yeah.
size of the pull request was extra large, so it took a long time to review all the changes.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
Correct.
And who reviewed it?
I did.
Oh, from who?
Ajia.
Okay. All right. So Chrome extension PR from Hajir was extra large. Now, did you speak to him about making them in smaller pieces?
Yes.
Okay.
We had the same issue with the Stripe one as well, right? That was 3XL, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
What was the side mission?
CTF.
Is just a big one, a big CTF?
No,
Or-
but it's
Or were
distracting.
you making the CTF?
Reviewing it.
Right. Okay, cool.
Okay, so continue.
Yep.
So for Caleb, he got distracted getting CTF checked and other CTF tasks. Got a bit sidetracked helping Louis release a new page on the SSW website. And unfortunately, he did not get any done this sprint. For me, we added new PBIs from testing, but we didn't take out any in return. So that was probably a bad move. And we got a lot of reports throughout the week about YakShaver putting items in the wrong backlog or not even in any backlog at all.
Is that
For-
do we have a PBI for that we have in the next sprint?
Yes.
Okay, good.
For Callum, he mentioned we hit some speed bumps rolling out, still not there yet, and too many things to do and not enough time to do them. So what needs to improve? For Tom, he mentioned that we need to differentiate between YakShaver SSW behavior and YakShaver as a product. Because as I mentioned earlier with the SSW products backlog being in the project list, for SSW is a bit of a special egg, so it's a bit different how they work versus how a normal client would set up their projects.
Yeah, so we're not dogfooding that.
Yeah. And Tom also mentioned that we need to start focusing on insight logging and reporting. The epic has already been created for that. Stephen tests for AI generated content often fail due to the randomness. So we need to improve the AI test stability. For Caleb, he mentioned that he should have created a PBI when he's going off on side missions if they're relevant. For example, he actually had a spike to see what UI test library he could use for the YakShaver website. And for me, reprioritize PBIs if new ones get added.
Does that mean pull things out of the sprint?
Yes, replacing things and yeah.
Got it. Cool.
Anyone want to add anything or any comments on them?
Yeah, I'll just comment on the way the sprint review is done. You're going through every single PBI and every single item on the retro. I would recommend, knowing that we're trying to get the sprint down, to 10 to 15 minutes, you only go through the good PBIs and bold some of these ones. So you go through, maybe half of them.
Okay. Yep. And that's all for the sprint review. Let's go to the planning. So for sprint 64, we are planning on the sprint goals remain the same. So rolling out to the first customer and adding branding. And this will be a 1 week sprint. So it's going to be most of the same ones. I'll put in a nicer view. So you can see here. So Caleb is going to finish off some of the small bugs that he found on the portal and as well on the website. And also adding, making better SEO. And
should
then we
that
have
number 2 is, if it's in review, should it be a 4?
Well, I mean, it might even be able to be broken down because it sort of turned into a different...
We're just talking about what's there right now. Like the remaining work, is it 4?
Yeah, but a lot of the remaining work is different to what was initially proposed.
okay.
I suggested it's not really in review.
Right. Got it.
Okay. Now, can I just ask in general? I know lots of this stuff is being sorted out for the first waitlist customers, but is much work being done on just the simple scenario? Just using the extension with YouTube.
So the extension is not the extension is only SSW only yet right now. So like if a client tries to use the extension, they won't be able to log in or use it at all.
I'm asking, is much work being done in this sprint coming up on that scenario?
There's a critical decision that we need to make before we can use the extension that we have not yet reached a decision on, and we can't really progress until we make that decision, which is basically, do we do something like special for the extension to let you sign in, with GitHub or whatever, or do we combine it with the existing portal? Do we use identity server, so on and so forth? So we're currently drafting an ADR that we want everyone to, give their opinions on and then come up with a decision. But until we do that, we can't really do anything else. So that's the first thing we need to do.
Right. I would say make the extension as dumb as possible and put the rest of it into the portal. And if they're in extension only mode, the portal is much simpler. But I do understand the auth issue that you raised.
Yeah. So for example, Rick is suggesting that we should do it with identity server. And I think most of the other guys are saying there's too many unknowns. It's going to take too long. So we want to know what are the estimates for each approach. And yeah, at the moment, we don't really have a good understanding. So it's hard to make a decision.
So using SSW identity, most of the work has been done, so it shouldn't be that much, but there is always the option of going with auth 0, which is very quick.
Do you have any more context on that, Tom?
On what particular?
On what the outstanding issues are with this decision? Like, do you know why Rick is suggesting what he's suggesting and so on?
Just long term and for consistency, because all the other SSW products mainly use Identity Server. I think there were some other specific details, but I can't recall them.
Was it something about GitHub not being integrated with it or something like that?
Yeah, there is no specific GitHub integration, but I would assume there's a generic OAuth flow which you could basically use and build the
Right.
missing pieces.
Sure. Anyway, yeah.
Mhm.
So we haven't yet reached an agreement on that, which is why we can't do anything else. But the decision is going to be made this sprint at least. So next sprint we should be able to work on it.
Just a quick TLD on some of the issues that we're working on. We have a lot of the features requested from the testing that's still in progress, so we're finishing those off. Adding the watermark to the videos, some small changes to display the project name, and then a few of the bug reports that we've been getting more of. So the CRM has been getting a lot of issues where we can't create PBI, so we're going to do some investigation. And this one is a more general issue that applies to the GitHub side. So we have the DevOps and GitHub side for
that's Christian's issue, isn't it?
Yeah, correct.
So, Lewis, I'm sending you a bunch of requests where YakShaver does something that I don't expect, right?
Yep.
So that's really, I'm trying to understand the prompt more. And if you agree with me, you fix the prompt. Do you then rerun the same recording through to see what happens?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Right. So they're the things that where if you're just explaining to me what I said and why it did something, those things probably need to go into a doc. So you can point me, if you say this and then if you say this product and then you say the second product, that has more precedence because it's more recent, I guess. I don't know. And then that should be given to Seth for his Credly badges, so that the people that get the Credly badge should know some of those things, how the prompt works. Okay.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I see.
Okay.
That makes sense to me. Any other questions on the planning?
How many of my items to you are in here?
So we have some of the questions that you've asked have also been they're also repeated issues. So for example, this YakShaver raised the issue in wrong repository. You had the same issue, so I can look into this in your email at the same time, and then pick up your other emails as required.
Okay. Now those type of things are bugs, so they should be higher up, I think.
Yeah, he's got it ordered.
Backlog.
Can you take off the ordering? You've got it ordered by
I see.
Yeah, basically try to do bugs before new work.
No, that one's fine. It's the status ordering that you need to get rid of.
Oh. I see. Oh no, and now the sprints will. Oh. There we go. So the bugs are at the top.
Yeah, that's the actual priority order of the sprint.
Right. Any other questions?
When do you want me to do another test run with Louis? I assume you want to get some of these done first, right?
Yeah. So I'm gonna finish off mine, which is the Azure DevOps stuff, and I think there's a few more that needs to be finished off. Oh, maybe not. Maybe just mine. So once I get mine finished, I'll call you and Louis up, and we can get going again for a retest.
Okay. Cool.
All right, cool. As always, this video will be on the YakShaver YouTube channel. So if you like this video, hit like, subscribe, and comment below. And that's it for the video.
Join our Patreon.
Join the waitlist. Join the waitlist.
Oh,
for
yeah.
the waitlist. And
Why not?
and that's all for the video. Thank you for watching.
Hi, it's Lucas calling from the tent.